Rumors have been flying ever since word got out about NBA Youngboy and Casanova crossing paths in jail, with both rappers locked up and their names already tied to major legal battles. The idea of them connecting behind bars is something nobody expected. Youngboy, known for moving solo and keeping his circle tight, has always had a reputation for being unpredictable. Casanova, on the other hand, was deep in Brooklyn's street scene before his RICO case, known for his aggressive energy and connections, with both rappers having strong reputations. But in different circles, their time inside raises some serious questions. Whether it's all business, bad blood, or something else entirely, there's definitely more to this new relationship. Nevada Southern Detention Center with none other than NBA Youngboy, two completely different energies locked up together. And if that wasn't enough, Casanova even posted a smiley face on the jail sheet screenshot. Now, if you don't know, his situation is way deeper than NBA Youngboy's real name, Kentrell Jeton. He's not just doing a quick bit, he's locked in on a serious RICO case tied to the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation gang. Back in December 2020, federal prosecutors went after him and 17 others, accusing them of running wild in New York City. These charges included gang-related violence, fraud, and even the tragic loss of a Youngboy employee. Then on June 27th,
when you really live in a life, it's like it can't be frauded. Like, this is real stuff. Like, and that's why I think most of these rappers is not gonna survive with me around, because I really lived this. What y'all talking.
Prosecutors pushed for a serious sentence between 15 and nearly 20 years, and they weren't playing around. According to the feds, Casanova, real named Caswell Sr., was rapping about the street life and was actually living it. In a surprise twist, they actually used his music and lyrics as evidence to show that he wasn't simply pretending to be violent. Meanwhile, his lawyers tried to argue that he wasn't fully active in the gang anymore and had been slowly pulling away since getting his Roc Nation deal. They claimed he only stayed in the gang because it helped boost his rap career. While they're both now cellmates in Nevada, their situations couldn't be more different. One is fighting for his career. The other is facing a future that could keep him behind bars for decades. The news of these two sharing a cell has left the rap scene reeling. Fans and artists are confused about the unlikely pairing, speculating on everything from potential collaborations to the dynamics of their cohabitation. Some see it as a sobering reminder of the consequences that come with certain lifestyles, while others view it as an opportunity for both artists to reflect and possibly find common ground. But Casanova's legal troubles have put his rap career on hold since 2019. He dropped a message from behind bars, and it's clear he's not the same man he was before. The Brooklyn rapper took to Twitter to say he's literally fighting for his life in prison. And now he says he finally sees just how broken the system really is. This wasn't some random bending. This is coming from a man who thought he understood the streets, only to realize the system plays by a whole different set of rules. While Casanova is dealing with his own harsh reality, Bobby Shmurda, who knows a thing or two about prison, picture of the two newly paired inmates on his Instagram story saying "free them." Casanova caught wind of it and took to Twitter to thank Bobby, a small gesture. But when you're locked up, that kind of love means everything. But he's dealing with a mental battle most people can't even imagine. He admitted that being alone in prison has done something to him. He said that he's terrified of how loneliness brings him a twisted kind of comfort. That's not something you hear every day. Casanova went from running the streets to finding peace in isolation, and he's not sure if that's a good thing or a sign that prison is breaking him. It's been a brutal stretch. He lost his father to cancer while inside, and he admitted that at one point he didn't even want to keep judge that he put on that strong facade. But all he wanted to do was end it. That's Caswell keeping it real without pretending, just a man who got caught up in a life he thought he needed and is now facing the weight of all of it. He tried leaving it all behind, but things didn't turn out too well for the rapper. The rapper got slashed in the face and hands in June 2023 after announcing he was leaving the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation Bloods. That decision nearly cost him his life, locked up in Essex County Correctional Facility. He got into a vicious fight with another inmate, Ulysses Lugo. Lugo came at him with a blade-like weapon, cutting him across the face, just weeks before he had sent a letter to the judge renouncing his gang ties, saying prison. That move painted a target on his back. He might be 15 years deep in the system, but somehow he's still out here grinning in photos. And check this leaked photo. There's a whole laptop sitting in the background. Anybody who's done time knows that having a whole laptop behind the wall is not normal. So how's he pulling this off in one crazy screenshot? He was actually on Instagram live from inside prison. How wild is that? He has the money, and with that comes influence. He's got privileges most inmates don't, and that doesn't happen for no reason. He's dangerous enough that nobody dares test him. But at the same time, he's respected for how he looks out for others. Word is he's the type to help inmates get their minds right, put them on game.
I got a good support system, you know, and
So
I'm blessed. I'm favored.
right. So who are some of those people? Any rappers that your fans are familiar with? Who's supporting you in there?
It's a lot of rappers that support me. I don't want to miss no names.
If you know Casanova, you know he's not just a rapper. He's a real one, especially when it comes to looking out for people. Take ASAP Rocky, for example. Rocky was just a young 16-year-old when he landed in Rikers Island. Now Rikers is no easy place for anyone, but it's especially rough for a teenager. So when he got there, Casanova stepped up and made sure Rocky wasn't left out in the cold. He looked out for him like a true og would.
Like, that was my man. He held me down that whole time. Giving me pointers. Like, it was to the point where I ain't had beef to the point where he had to protect me and nothing, but the nigga definitely was real nigga, and I was the only nigga he beat.
He had already been through Rikers a couple of times. It was actually his third stint there, so instead of ignoring Rocky, as most people would in that environment, he checked in on him. He asked what Rocky was in for making sure to get the details, and more importantly, making him feel at ease. That's when Rocky realized something about Casanova. He wasn't just about himself. He wasn't in there looking out for number one, only he was out here looking out for others. And now looking at the situation with Youngboy, you've got to think this is probably exactly what Casanova is doing for him while he's locked up too. A recently leaked photo of Youngboy attending a court hearing went viral. The image shows him looking noticeably worn down. A clear isn't entirely alone in there. Casanova built a reputation for looking out for people, especially in the prison system. He's in a tough spot right now, but it wouldn't be a surprise if Casanova is giving him the same type of guidance and support. The dude knows how to move in the streets, but he knows the system too, whether it's helping with connections or just making sure someone's straight. Casanova's got the blueprint for keeping people's heads above water. While specific details about their daily interactions are scarce, the shared environment could foster a mentor-mentee relationship. Casanova, who has been in the industry longer, has been naturally assuming a mentor role, offering guidance to the younger rappers. Some inmates might feel intimidated, not necessarily because the two are aggressive toward everyone, but because their influence alone makes them untouchable. That kind of power can make other people think twice. But there are also those who might see an opportunity, hoping to earn favor. With two of the most talked about names in hip-hop, prison is all about hierarchy. And in a place where survival depends on alliances and reputation, having Casanova and Youngboy in the same space could make them the unofficial kings of their block. Now, with the two of them locked up together, Youngboy might have just landed the best possible cellmate. People are already starting to speculate about what this could mean for their futures. Drama and back to the music. With the kind of pull Casanova has behind those walls, Youngboy might just be in for a whole different kind of mentorship. Brush with the law. Cole Jin's career has been skyrocketing, but so have his legal problems. Now he's looking at 23 months behind bars after getting caught on camera with guns, knowing full well he's a convicted felon. The feds weren't playing around. They hit him with charges in multiple states, but he took a deal to wrap it all up. The result, almost 2 years locked up plus 5 years of probation and a $200,000 fine. Youngboy admitted he had a Glock and a 9mm in a music video. And to make things worse, when Utah agents raided his spot, they found another semi-automatic pistol. He had no choice but to give up the guns and plead guilty. Before the judge handed down the sentence, Youngboy owned up to his mistakes, telling the court that he let the situation get the best of him. The judge made it clear if the rap wanted to stay out of trouble when he got out, he was going to have to walk the straight and narrow. But let's be real, this isn't the first time he's put himself and the people around him in danger. His arrest on February 24th got him charged with mistreatment, weapons violations, and kidnapping after he allegedly threatened his ex-girlfriend Johnny Jackson. There's actual footage of the hotel incident, and it's wild that the video shows Youngboy, Mr. and Jay outside their room. And the craziest part, right after the footage dropped, They both went live brushing it off like they were just playing. But if you've been following his history, none of this should be shocking. This is the same guy who had 2 attempted shooting charges on his record before even turning 20. And in May 2019, things got even worse. Youngboy was caught in a full-blown shootout outside Trump International Beach Resort in Miami. Somebody rolled up on him and his crew spraying bullets from a Cadillac Escalade. His people weren't letting that slide. They fired right back. But in the chaos, an innocent bystander got hit and lost his life. Youngboy's girlfriend Kane Marie Long was also injured. And even a 5-year-old got caught in the crossfire. Now technically his crew was shooting in self-defense, so no charges stuck. But think about this, everywhere this guy goes, violence follows. This wasn't just some unlucky situation. He's been deep in the streets. And no matter how famous he gets, he keeps getting pulled right back in. Even before the fame, he was already in and out of trouble. He spent time in juvie for robbery and got hit with mistreatment charges. And now, despite the money and success, it seems like he still can't escape the same cycle. But it seems that his time with Casanova might have been the final straw, turning him into a changed man.
Man, I feel very wrong about a lot of things. How many lives I actually am responsible for when it comes to my music? How many kids and people have gotten in the car or put this shit in their ears and actually hurt someone?
He revealed in an interview that he feels guilty about the things he put in his music. The same lyrics that had fans turning up for years. Now, he's wondering how many people actually took them to heart and did something reckless. And that thought haunts him. He didn't sugarcoat it either, and admitted that he felt very wrong about a lot of things. The guy who was once facing attempted murder charges is now questioning the impact of his words. And it's not just talk. He's making real changes. His album, I Rest My Case, had way fewer gun references than his past projects. That's a huge shift for someone whose entire image was built on that energy. He's not saying he's about to start rapping about peace and love, but fans expected. And that's not even the wildest part. Youngboy's time on house arrest in Utah led him somewhere nobody saw coming: the Church of Jesus Christ. Because the rapper is now studying Mormonism. At first, he wasn't trying to hear it when the missionaries came knocking on his door. But when they came back, something told him to listen. Now he's reading the Book of Mormon, talking with the missionaries regularly, and even planning to get baptized once he's out of jail. And he knows some people aren't going to like this new version of him. Fans expect him to be the same wild young boy they've always known. But he's standing firm, saying that he's not going to be provoked into acting differently.
I will not be provoked. I will not be broken. And I'm not going back to where I used to.
He knows this 23-month sentence could be just the beginning. Unless he changes, he risks ending up with a lifelong sentence like Casanova. And while fans are worried about his future, one thing's for sure: rappers dropping music from behind bars isn't some rare occurrence. It's almost become part of hip-hop history. Prison time can be a career reset for some artists and a downfall for others. Some rappers emerge bigger than ever, using their incarceration as fuel for their music and image. Others lose momentum, struggling to regain relevance once they're released. It all depends on timing, fan loyalty, and how well they manage to keep their presence alive while locked up. Some of the biggest names in the game have kept his prison time into one of the most productive eras of his career, dropping multiple projects and keeping his name relevant. Lil Wayne recorded verses over the phone while locked up on Rikers Island. Tupac's Me Against the World topped the charts while he was serving time. The list goes on for Casanova and Youngboy. The question is whether they'll come back stronger or lose their footing. Casanova's case is tricky. Federal charges mean a long sentence, and his career was already struggling before his arrest. He had street credibility, but without major hits. Staying relevant for years behind bars will be tough. Youngboy, on the other hand, has a massive fan base that rides for him no matter what, even while locked up. Strong. If he keeps that momentum, prison time might barely slow him down. Now, Casanova's latest Instagram post has fans speculating about what's next. He posted a screenshot with smiley face emojis, which might seem small, but in this context, it could mean a lot more. Is there a collaboration with Youngboy on the way? The idea isn't that far-fetched. He's always had connections in the industry, and Youngboy, even while incarcerated, remains one of the most active rappers when it comes to putting out music. But if they really are working on something together, they're on a time crunch. Youngboy's sentence isn't nearly as long as his. And there's even talk that he could be out early. His legal change breaking old habits isn't easy. Krell's got a loyal fan base, an undeniable talent for making hits, and the ability to dominate the charts. But if he can't keep himself away from the same situations that got him locked up in the first place, it could all fall apart. Fans are already imagining what a track between the two could sound like. Casanova brings that raw high-energy delivery, with that deep aggressive voice that makes everything he waps feel intense. Youngboy, on the other hand, is all about emotional depth, melodic flows, and that unfiltered energy that keeps his music unpredictable. Put those styles together, and you got a track that could be either a hard-hitting street anthem.
I always wanted to be a rapper. This was always my dream. I never had a plan B. This is what I was set on becoming.
Let's not forget Youngboy is one of the most prolific rappers in the game. Even while locked up, he finds ways to keep dropping music. If he's involved in this, it's not going to be just some throwaway trap. If this collaboration happens, it could serve as a major moment for both of them. Casanova proving he's still got pull in the rap game, and Youngboy once again showing he can't be slowed down no matter where he is. But if the rapper is released and ends up violating probation, the consequences could be severe. Given his history with the legal system, any violation, whether a technical one like missing a check-in or something more serious, could put him right back behind bars, potentially for a much longer sentence. Stay out of trouble. Youngboy's past suggests that avoiding legal issues won't be easy. He's been on probation before and still found himself in legal battles. His lifestyle affiliations and even the sheer number of eyes on him makes slipping up almost inevitable. However, if he truly wants to change, he has the resources to do so. He can move away from negative influences, focus entirely on his music, and take probation seriously. The problem is he said he wants to change before, yet trouble always seems to follow. If he doesn't approach things differently this time, his freedom might not last long. And now the legal system isn't just watching him, it's watching the entire rap industry. The crackdown on hip-hop has been getting more intense, and things aren't so simple anymore. The crackdown on hip-hop, the rap game has been feeling the heat. And it's not just from the streets anymore. Rappers are getting hit with federal cases left and right. And it's starting to feel a lot like how the feds cracked down on the mafia and the ADS they've had. Enough of these gang-affiliated artists bragging about their crimes and living large, while their millions of fans cheer them on and scream free. So after they get arrested, the feds have been making moves using the racketeer-influenced and corrupt organizations act to go after violent street gangs tied to some of the biggest names in rap today. They're coming for not just the criminals, but for the music itself, using lyrics as evidence. We've seen it all from Young Thug's YSL to Casanova's Gorilla Stone, and even Fetty Wap getting caught up in a major drug ring. For those not familiar, RICO is a serious federal law that was originally designed to dismantle organized crime networks. It's what they used to take down notorious figures back in the day, and it's being applied more and more to gang-affiliated rappers. It allows prosecutors to go after anyone involved in the operations of a criminal enterprise, whether they directly committed the crime or not. And these aren't small-time operations. We're talking about mistreatment, money laundering, armed robbery, you name it.